When it's PCS time, you know the drill. Pack, research to new base, get the kids in school, because family supports family. At American Public University, we support military families with flexible, affordable online education that moves with you. As a military spouse, your tuition rate is the same as your partner's, just $250 per credit hour. American Public University, education that moves with you. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.
On today's Smart 7, Germany shocked by Christmas market attack, Lord Mandelson set to face Trump, and much more. It's Monday 23rd of December, it's Christmas movie marathon day, and happy birthday Finn Wolfhard.
The Smart 7, it's news but not the news.
At least 5 people were killed and more than 200 injured when a car ploughed more than 400 metres through a crowded Christmas market in the German city of Magdeburg on Friday evening. On Saturday, German police named the suspect as 50-year-old Taleb al-Abdul Mohsen, a Saudi Arabian doctor who had lived in Germany for nearly 20 years. While the motive remains unclear, al-Abdul Mohsen had reposted anti-Islamic rhetoric to his social media accounts and also appeared critical of Germany's treatment of Saudi asylum seekers. In a press conference on Saturday, German Chancellor Scholz promised a full investigation into the attack.
Now it is important that we investigate, and that this is done with all precision and accuracy. Nothing must remain uninvestigated, and that is how it will be. We have all assured each other of that.
Friday's attack is the second of its kind in Germany in under a decade, following the 2016 attack on a Berlin Christmas market which killed 13. Senior director of the counter-extremism project Hans-Jakob Schindler says security failings enabled a similar tragedy to occur.
There were holes, like slices of Swiss cheese, these holes aligned and enabled that attack. So was the security assessment of 2023 that said at that time the individual was not dangerous, which was done by the security forces, why was it not repeated in 2024?
The UK economy shrank for a second straight month in October, the first back-to-back decline since the COVID lockdowns of 2020, according to data released by the ONS earlier this month. It's been a disappointing result for Labour, who made economic growth a key focus of their general election campaign this year. Their first budget included several tax increases aimed at promoting growth. In October, the OBR had predicted GDP growth of 2% in 2025, but former Bank of England Deputy Governor Sir Charlie Bean says that outlook may now be too optimistic.
If the OBR were to conduct new forecasts now, they would be downgrading that growth forecast, simply because they have information about growth at the back end of this year, which they didn't previously have.
These new figures add to a string of weaker-than-expected economic results, including a drop in retail sales. But Commons leader Lucy Powell says Labour is working hard to turn things around.
This is a bit like turning around some huge oil tanker, and the underlying problems that the country faces, which is why people voted for change, because they could see, quite honestly, going into that election, the country was going down the Swanee.
Britain has a new ambassador to the US. Lord Peter Mandelson is set to take up the role early next year, just in time for Donald Trump's inauguration. A divisive figure in British politics, Lord Mandelson was fired twice from the Blair government before being controversially appointed business secretary by Gordon Brown in 2008. More recently, he's also faced scrutiny for reported links to Jeffrey Epstein. The Trump team don't seem best pleased with the selection, with one campaign advisor calling Lord Mandelson an absolute moron. But former British diplomat Lord Darroch says Lord Mandelson is a shrewd pick who's well equipped to deal with Trump.
This is what life is going to be like under Trump 2.0. It's like a 24/7 barroom brawl. Lord Mandelson's a very experienced politician. I'm sure he can cope with this kind of stuff.
Speaking this weekend, Russian President Vladimir Putin has vowed the destruction of Ukraine, blaming Kyiv for a drone attack on a luxury apartment complex in the Russian city of Kazan on Saturday. No casualties were reported, although a local airport was temporarily shut down and some residents evacuated. Meanwhile, Russian forces claim to have captured another village around 6 miles southwest of Kurakov, a key city in eastern Ukraine. And with Trump's inauguration fast approaching, Ukrainian President Zelensky held his final meeting with outgoing CIA Director Bill Burns. But But despite the shifting political landscape, Putin says Russia's interests remain unchanged.
Everything is changing. Only the interests of Russia and its people remain unchanged. If we see that the situation is changing in such a way that there is an opportunity for building relationships with other countries, we are ready for it.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Liverpool stay on top and Jude Law goes method. Right after this.
231. That's the average number of apps used by many companies. This leads to a lot of context and tab switching that drains employee focus and costs your company. Grammarly can help. Grammarly's AI works in over 500,000 apps and websites, making it easy for your team to write clearly and on brand without disrupting workflow. Join 70,000 teams who save an average of $5,000 per employee per year using Grammarly. Go to grammarly.com/enterprise to learn more.
Welcome back.
It was another action-packed weekend in the Premier League. Saturday saw Aston Villa edge out a struggling Man City 2-1, whilst Arsenal dominated Crystal Palace 5-1. Sunday saw more disappointment for Man United, who lost 3-0 to Bournemouth, but success for Liverpool, who beat Spurs 6-3 in a nail-biting match featuring 7 different goal scorers. It cemented Liverpool's hold on top of the table, but boss Arne Slot says they can't rest on their laurels.
No matter how much quality players have, if they think they don't have to run anymore. And then in this league, especially against Tottenham, because they are so good with the ball as well, they immediately start to create, and that's what they did, and they scored 2 goals.
Superman is back, and he's breaking more than just the laws of physics. The new trailer has gone viral, smashing Warner Brothers and DC records with more than 250 million views in just a couple of days. It stars David Corenswet as Superman and The Order's Nicholas Hoult as the villainous Lex Luthor, CEO of Luthor Corp. Nicholas was on Late Night with Seth Meyers this weekend to promote the movie, when he also let slip about The Order co-star Jude Law's very enthusiastic approach to method acting.
And someone said, and Jude, you followed Nick around for the day. And I was like, what? But also I was like, well, what did he see me do? Because I'm like... Because the one thing I was doing is I'd come straight from Prague in the studio for 4 months doing Nosferatu. So I was like pale like a ghost. So I was getting fake tans. Once a week.
Christmas is almost here, which means it's nearly time to curl up on the sofa with Gavin and Stacey, complain about the scores on Strictly, and cry into your Quality Street tin during the Call the Midwife holiday specials. But before you dig into your leftovers, be sure to mark December 30th on your calendars. That's when the Queen of Deadpan, Philomena Kunk, will be returning with her latest mockumentary, Kunk on Life. This time, she's tackling the biggest question of all, existence. Expect plenty of awkward interviews, baffling observations, and the kind of insights only Kunk can deliver.
From pointless ants to long-necked horse monsters, what do the creatures want? And why do they refuse to tell us? And then, of course, there's us, humankind. Have you ever wondered how we got here? Well, I haven't, but others have.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
When you're part of a military family, you understand sacrifice and support. At American Public University, we honor your dedication by extending our military tuition savings to your extended family. Parents, spouses, legal partners, siblings, and dependents all qualify for APU's preferred military rate of just $250 per credit hour for undergraduate and master's level programs. American Public University. Value for the whole family. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.